15 voices, 1 decade, 0 compromises. The 1970s didn't just change rock, it changed who got to lead it. From the leather and bass shock of Suzi Quatro to Stevie Nicks' spellbinding mystique, from Patti Smith's poet-punk lightning to Debbie Harry's cool, chart-crushing swagger. From Ann Wilson's jet engine wail to Kate Bush breaking every rule on day one. And we're going global. Rita Lee kicking down doors in Brazil, Suzi reshaping post-punk in Britain, and more. This isn't a nostalgia list. It's a roll call of trailblazers, each with one signature track, no repeats, fact-checked, and ranked for impact. You'll get the short story behind the song, the moment it hit, and why these performances still shake the room. Before we dive in, tell me, who's your #1 70s rock queen, and which performance made you a believer? Drop it in the comments. If you love deep dive rock history, hit subscribe to RockLore so you never miss a countdown. All right, let's count down the top 15 1970s female rock singers we'll never forget. All right, rock fam, settle in. Before the stadiums and the Queen of Brazilian Rock title, Rita Lee was the 3rd member of Os Mutantes, the wild, playful heart of Tropicalia's psychedelic scene. Before the stadiums and the Queen of Brazilian Rock title, Rita Lee was the 3rd member of Os Mutantes, the wild, playful heart of Tropicalia's psychedelic scene. The LP's momentum was real. It generated major airplay hits, appeared on Brazilian sales charts, and over time became one of the country's landmark rock releases. Lee's shift from experimental psychedelia to glam-leaning, guitar-forward rock opened a lane for women to lead big, loud bands in Brazil and be commercially huge doing it. Question for you. When you first heard Ovelha Negra, did you hear rebellion or pop perfection?
Hey, RockLore community. Before we continue, let's have a real talk for a second, bro. You know, this isn't just a channel to us. And I hope it's not just a place you come to watch a video and then forget about it. This is a community. It's a place where we get to dig up the secrets of rock and roll, share our favorite riffs, and celebrate the artists who maybe didn't get the love they deserved. Right now, only about 1% of our viewers are subscribed. We can change that together and grow this community. All you have to do is hit that subscribe button with the notification bell on. When you do, you're not just helping a channel grow, you're becoming a member of the RockLore family. You're signaling to us and to YouTube that these stories matter, that this music is worth preserving, and that this community is a place you want to be. Subscribing is your way of making sure you're always in the loop. It means you'll be the first to know when we unearth a forgotten legend, drop a new countdown, or dive into a piece of rock history you've never heard before. So if you're a true fan of the lore, if you get that same feeling of discovery that I do, then come join us. It takes 1 second to be a part of something bigger.
Punk had plenty of rage in 1977, but polystyrene brought something sharper. A laser-focused voice that cut through noise and fashion. Oh, bondage up yours is 2.5 minutes of anti-consumerist fury. Saxophones honking, guitars slashing, and Polly spitting lines with a grin that says she knows exactly what she's doing. It didn't chart, and the BBC wouldn't touch it, but it became a must-own single for punk collectors and a blueprint for Riot Grrrl decades later. Listen to that opening scream. It's the sound of a scene being yanked into the future by someone who refused to play nice. Question: what hits you first? The lyrics or the sheer attack in her delivery? Prog rock isn't supposed to put divas front and center until Annie Haslam does it. Northern Lights brought Renaissance's symphonic sweep to the singles chart, with Haslam's 5-octave clarity floating above piano and strings like stained glass in sunlight. It's a masterclass in control, never showy, always expressive, and perfectly set inside a melody you can hum after one listen. The single reached the UK top 10 and put a very unpunk kind of beauty on top of the pops in the middle of punk's reign. Question: do you think prog's most powerful moments come from instrumental fireworks or a voice like this riding the storm? Debut single, instant statement. Hong Kong Garden snaps like a camera flash, tight, bright, and cool. But Suzi's vocal is the thing you remember, poised, cutting, and utterly hers. Where punk often lunged, she glided. Where others sneered, she carved space with icy precision. The track hit UK number 7 and pushed post-punk straight into the mainstream, with Steve Lillywhite's production giving it the shimmer of something new. From this moment on, a darker, artier path through the late 70s was open, and Suzi was leading it. Question: if you were building a post-punk starter pack, does this go first, or do you save it as the clincher? A teenage singer in satin and danger stripes walks into the room, and hard rock history changes course. Cherry Bomb wasn't designed for the charts, it was designed to hit. Co-written by Joan Jett and manager Kim Fowley for Sherry Curry's audition, the song became the band's calling card. 2 minutes and change of swagger, stomp, and attitude that every young band could learn from. It bubbled under in the US but never left rock culture, popping up in films, TV, and playlists for decades. And it showcased how a young woman could front hard rock with complete authority. Question: which version do you prefer? The raw studio blast or the live, barely holding together sizzle? Chrissie Hynde didn't shout to get your attention. She owned the room with poise. Brass in Pocket, the Pretenders' breakout single from their self-titled debut, is a masterclass in cool control. A lean guitar pulse, a sly vocal, and lyrics that flip swagger on its head. Hynde's voice is confident but conversational. She sells the hook with a half smile, turning slang like brass, bottle, and gonna use my arms into a mission statement. The result? A new wave hit that topped the UK and crossed over in America, proving a woman could lead one of the sharpest bands of the era without sacrificing edge or melody. Why it mattered. At the tail end of the 70s, when punk fury met popcraft, Hines showed you could be tough without yelling, stylish without softening, and completely in charge without making a big speech about it.
True. Well, I broke a heart over someone like you.
Linda Ronstadt could sing anything, country ballads, Motown covers, Mexican standards, and make it sound like the biggest song in the room. On You're No Good, from Heart Like a Wheel, she turns a 1960s pop tune into a modern radio-ready rocket.
Someone like you. I beg your forgiveness on this.
The arrangement builds like a small drama, acoustic shimmer, tight rhythm section, and that famous breakdown before the final chorus. While Ronstadt's voice cuts clean and bright, never forced, always focused. The single hit #1 on the Billboard Hot 100 in early 1975 and cemented her as the defining female voice of American rock that decade. Why it mattered. Ronstadt proved that versatility is power. In an era that loved boxes, country here, rock there, she moved between them and conquered both.
Night and day, but I never lost 1 minute. Pumped a lot of tang down in New Orleans. But
Nice and easy, nice and rough. With those words, Tina Turner didn't just cover Creedence Clearwater Revival, she rewrote it. The Ike and Tina arrangement starts as a slow burn and then explodes into hard-driving soul rock, powered by Tina's sandpaper sweet rasp and ferocious timing.
rolling on a river. Rolling on the river.
The single roared up the charts, became a showstopper on stage, and later brought home a Grammy.
The good side of the city until I hit the ride on the rolling on a river.
Turner's delivery here is a masterclass in dynamics. She whispers, she growls, she commands. You hear not just a singer, but a band leader, a dancer, an athlete, someone pushing rock vocals to the edge and coming back smiling. Why it mattered. It set the stage for Tina's future as a solo hurricane in the 80s, while reminding everyone that soul and rock aren't rivals, they're siblings.
This video is sponsored by the Lore Store on Amazon, your one-stop shop for music lovers across reggae, rock, pop, and hip-hop. We built it for real listeners who don't want to dig through 1,000 listings to find the right gear. Inside the Lore Store, you'll find 5 aisles. VIP, top, battle-tested essentials. Headphones, turntables, speakers, gig-safe earplugs, smart speakers. Reggae vibe, roots and lovers. Rock made easy, automatic decks, warm bookshelf speakers, vinyl care. RockLore, classic rock must-haves, open back cans, simple amps, living room concert vibes. PopLore, feel-good everyday setups, clean, clear speakers, easy streaming, nostalgia-friendly picks. Hip-hop must-haves, punchy bass without the muddle, closed-back headphones and living room systems that handle low end, plus a rotating crate of old album vinyl if you're rebuilding a 60s, 90s collection. Every product page tells you who it's for, 3 pros, 1 con, and why we picked it. So you can choose with confidence. Flying soon? Check. VIP for noise canceling that tames plane roar. Mostly listening at home? Try open-back headphones that let live albums breathe. Want instant gratification vinyl? Our fully automatic turntable is 1 button from silence to music, and the record cleaning kit knocks down crackle so the bass tightens up. Headed to shows? Grab high-fidelity earplugs, hands-free at home. Our smart speaker picks let you say, play 70s reggae or classic pop, and you're there. Deal alert. If you use the link in the description, you'll land on our curated picks with current best available Amazon pricing and active discounts where applicable. Prices change, so buy now to lock in today's deal. Tap the link in the description, pick your aisle, grab a favorite, and tell me which category you want me to build next. The Lore Store. Listen better, with gear that gets out of the way and lets the music live.
Love taker, don't you mess around with me. You're a heartbreaker.
late 70s had plenty of hard rock. What it didn't have was a voice like Pat Benatar's cutting straight through it. Heartbreaker, from her debut in the heat of the night, is all precision and voltage. Needle-sharp phrasing, soaring belts on the choruses, and a tight band that knows when to punch and when to leave space. The song cracked the US Top 25 and became Benatar's calling card on rock radio. Inside that attack is discipline. Every note lands on purpose. Every line rides the groove just right. She didn't just keep up with the guitars, she led them. Why it mattered. Benatar kicked open mainstream doors for women in hard rock at the exact moment the format needed a new star, and she did it with pure technique and zero gimmicks. Patti Smith built her reputation on raw poetry and art punk intensity. Because the Night, co-written with Bruce Springsteen and produced by Jimmy Iovine, shows what happens when that fire meets a perfect pop framework.
Love is an angel disguised as last here in my bed. Because tonight belongs to lovers. Because tonight.
The verses brood, the chorus erupts. Smith doesn't smooth out her edges, she focuses them, turning a love song into an invocation. The track became a hit on both sides of the Atlantic and introduced a wider audience to a voice that had already reshaped New York's underground. Why it mattered. It proved that punk spirit and mainstream melody can live in the same house. Smith didn't compromise. She translated and millions understood. Before Joan Jett, before the Runaways went global, there was Suzi Quatro, an American in London with a bass slung low, a leather jumpsuit, and a don't blink stage presence. Can the Can, written by the Chinachap Hit Factory and produced like a glam grenade, is the sound of a door being kicked off its hinges. The guitars crunch, the drums stomp, and Quatro's vocal slices right down the middle, tight, bright, and fearless. The single shot to #1 in the UK and across parts of Europe and Australia, proving a woman could front a hard-charging rock band and sell in massive numbers. What makes it stick isn't just attitude, it's Suzi's pocket. She plays bass like she's steering the whole band with one hand and daring you to keep up with the other. She didn't ask for space on the stage. She took it, then rewired the room so every girl with a garage guitar could imagine herself under the lights. Blondie were CBGB street kids with magazine cover instincts, and Debbie Harry was the cool center of that storm. Heart of Glass started life as the disco song, a half-joking experiment the band kept around until they were brave enough to release it. With producer Mike Chapman, they gave it glass tile polish, a sleek pulse, candy-hard guitars, and Debbie's voice delivering heartbreak like a private joke. It went to #1 in the US, #1 in the UK, and suddenly New York New Wave had a global passport. There were critics who cried, "Sell out." But listen closely, Debbie never loses her edge. She floats above the groove with a detached glamour that's more punk than people admit, turning the dance floor into her stage without breaking a sweat. The miracle is how it fused two worlds, downtown grit and uptown shine, and made both feel inevitable.
Smile like the sun, kisses.
If vocals could leave tire marks, Barracuda would have skid lines all over classic rock radio. Ann Wilson sings like a jet engine, pure thrust, perfect pitch, no turbulence. The riff is a gallop. The rhythm section is a stampede. And Ann rides over everything with a fury shaped into melody. The backstory matters. The song was sparked by a sleazy industry rumor that tried to reduce the Wilson sisters to a marketing stunt. Ann turned that anger into a precision weapon. Every line a strike, every belt a refusal to be defined by anyone else's story. Chart facts aside, the legacy is simple. After Barracuda, no one could pretend a woman couldn't front the heaviest band in the room. It's a masterclass in power without strain and control, without compromise. The kind of performance that resets expectations for everyone listening. Stevie Nicks doesn't shout, she spells. Rhiannon is a spell in 4/4. Mystic imagery, a circling piano guitar pattern, and that smoky vibrato that sounds like an ancient story told through a radio in your kitchen. Released as a single in 1976 from Fleetwood Mac's 1975 album, it climbed the US charts and, more importantly, turned Nicks into a figure bigger than genre, a modern mythmaker. On stage in 76-77, she'd lift the song into a fever trance, shawls flying, eyes locked, band surging behind her, until the audience wasn't sure whether to clap or breathe. The lyric isn't a plot, it's a feeling, freedom, danger, beauty that can't be caged. Rhiannon made rock radio safe for mystery again, and proved that a soft voice can cast the strongest spell when the song is built like a circle you can't step out of.
Hey, RockLore community. Before we continue, let's have a real talk for a second, bro. You know, this isn't just a channel to us. And I hope it's not just a place you come to watch a video and then forget about it. This is a community. It's a place where we get to dig up the secrets of rock and roll, share our favorite riffs, and celebrate the artists who maybe didn't get the love they deserved. Right now, only about 1% of our viewers are subscribed. We can change that together and grow this community. All you have to do is hit that subscribe button with the notification bell on. When you do, you're not just helping a channel grow, you're becoming a member of the RockLore family. You're signaling to us and to YouTube that these stories matter, that this music is worth preserving, and that this community is a place you want to be. Subscribing is your way of making sure you're always in the loop. It means you'll be the first to know when we unearth a forgotten legend, drop a new countdown, or dive into a piece of rock history you've never heard before. So if you're a true fan of the lore, if you get that same feeling of discovery that I do, then come join us. It takes 1 second to be a part of something bigger.
No one else arrives like this. 19 years old, self-written debut, #1 in the UK for weeks. Kate Bush didn't enter rock, she redrew the map. Wuthering Heights is audacious on paper. Emily Bronte adapted into a pop single, and even bolder in sound. A vocal that leaps like a dancer, chord changes that ignore the usual roads, production that treats the studio like a storybook. What saves it from novelty is intent. Kate isn't being strange to be strange, she's being exact. Every high note is a character choice, every lyric a window smudged by weather and longing. The result is a song that feels both ancient and brand new, a haunting that shows up with its own spotlight. Beyond the historic chart firsts, a woman writing and singing herself to number one, what matters is impact. A generation of artists learned you don't have to fit the room. You can build a new room and invite everyone in. The journey doesn't end here, rock warrior. Watch this next.